Well, George, you were referring to emotion, and I think it was quite clear that, to all of us, your emotion was quite visible around the conference. It's emotion and engagement quite clearly to us, and I think that's the most important driver for getting things done. And this must be an enormous task to organize this big event, not big in terms of numbers of people, but very important event in Paris. And we are quite happy, of course, that we are given the opportunity to bring our outcomes, to bring our results from this conference to the UNESCO World Conference, and I think we can give a good contribution to that conference. So thank you very much for your contribution. And also would like to thank Dirk. Dirk, you seem to expect quite a bit from us, and you seem to look upon us as a catalyzer or a catalyst in higher education, which if we don't do that, it will be difficult the next 20 years. So I appreciate that, and we'll do our best. And I just cannot promise that we can meet your expectations, but we'll certainly, having so many people in this conference and also in the whole process of activity around these conferences, available to do as much as possible and to indeed challenge the conventional classical system of higher education. So thank you both, George and Dirk, and please give an applause. Now, George was referring to the voice of the students, and this is something that I have to include into the closing session, which was not planned, and but it happened, and I should refer, I think, to an initiative about 2 years ago that we were asking students to come to the EDTU conference. And last year again, there was a small delegation of students. Now this year again, there is a delegation of students from different universities. And they came up with the idea of launching a students' council. And I think it's extremely important for EDTU to have that here. So this is a European part of this closing session, I must admit, because this is an activity of the European Open Universities. And I would like to ask Ricky Dijksman. She is the chair of the Dutch Open University Student Council, to come forward and to tell us what they have decided to do.
Good afternoon. We, the student representatives of the Open Universiteit Nederland, the Open University of the United Kingdom, the Hungarian e-University Network, the Universitat Oberta de Catalunya, and the Fernuniversiteit in Hagen in Deutschland are happy to announce the founding of the EDTU Student Council. Our mission is to keep an open line of communication between students and the EDTU on all aspects that affect the student experience. The general principles of the Council will be the maintenance and promotion of equal opportunities, education quality and transparency. Our aim is to help to develop a Europe without barriers for distance and blended learning students, as stated in the Bologna Declaration. EADTU members, member organizations are requested to support the initiative by informing their student communities. Thank you very much.
Well, you saw the picture of the students sitting together, and that was an important meeting. We will remember this meeting, I think, 10 years from now, very clearly. Now, this conference is almost over, and after this conference there will always be a next conference. And of course the next conference is the UNESCO conference, but for the, let's say, the whole community over here, there's two other conferences that are important. The one is the next EDTU conference in 2010, that will be in Switzerland, and that conference will be announced by Per Bergamin. He is director of the Institute for Research in Open Distance and E-Learning. In Germany, it is Director Institut für Forschung in Fremdstudien und E-Learning. And the other conference that will be announced is the next ICDE conference that will take place in 2011. And that will be announced by Professor Abdi Superman, President of the Universitas Terbuka. And I give them the floor just after each other, and I will come back only after Abdi has presented the next ICDE conference. Per, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have first to apologize our rector, Professor Paul Volken, due to other opportunities he has to do. But now I have the honor to bring a short but warm welcome out of the heart of the Alps for the next EADTU annual conference in September 2010. Let me mention some, let's say, unique characteristics of our organization. Unique in the distance education scenery, I think, because we are a small institution with about 2,000 students in a small country. We have an overall growth about 10% per year with the students, and each year there is launched a new study program. There are 3 forms of offers. We have own programs, we have joint programs in collaboration with Fernuniversität Hagen, Université de Grenoble, where students at each place are studying 50%. Then we have also broker programs with the Fernuniversität in Hagen, Teleuniversität Quebec, and members of the FIED, the Federation Interuniversitaire d'Éducation à Distance. And as you can see, we are a bilingual organization speaking German and French. And what we are proud of in our own programs, the study success rate is about 50%. So each second distance studio education will finish our studies without scaling down tests and exams, because a lot of professors are working so in traditional universities and in our organization. And so we can compare this very well. The topic who is chosen is strategies and business models for lifelong learning, frames of references building on good practices. And I'm glad that the CERI studies has shown that this is the right time to discuss this topic. Now, tell me something to the journey to Zermatt. So it will be a bit a longer journey, but very impressive, as you can see in the pictures here. At the end of the journeys, you will find a nice surrounding with no pollution, no noise of cars. It's a good place to reflect. And you will find also comfort and hospitality at the place of the conference at the Grand Hotel in the Zermatt. You will also find some signs in the top of the Alps. Here you can see the observatory of the Gornergrat or the Cabana of Monte Rosa, which is a project in energy efficiency. And let me finish this announcement with a bon mot. May fly the spirit of the EADTU conference as high as the Matterhorn. Hoping to see you next year in Zermatt.
Honorable ICDE President and University Presidents, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First, let me express that this is an honor for me to be able to be a part of this annual gathering of the global community consisting of academicians, practitioners, administrators, and policymakers of open and distance learning institutions. Now, on behalf of Universitas Terbuka, Indonesia, the host of the upcoming 24th ICDE World Conference 2011, I would like to invite you all to come to Indonesia from the 2nd to 5th of October 2011. Let us get together to share our knowledge and best practices while experiencing the mystical and exotic islands of the god Bali, Indonesia, on the 2nd to the 5th of October 2011. We are happy to have you in Bali and be our guest. Thank you very much.